Stewarding the Seasons with Catherine Sempebwa. Living with purpose, intentionality, inspiration, help by God.
Hello, my name is Catherine Sempebwa and welcome yet again to another episode of Stewarding the Seasons. So, today we're talking about the season of singlehood, yeah? And today we want to talk about the two types of waiting. Did you know that there are two types of waiting? The first type is passive waiting. I mean, you know in your heart that you're ripe for marriage. You know that you desire marriage and it is a good thing to desire marriage. But you're not really doing anything about it. You know, you're waiting for God to do whatever He wants to do. You know, you're just sitting there and you're waiting. You're not growing. You're not growing as a person. You're not growing in any area of your life. You're not growing in the Word. You're not growing with God. You are just there and you are hoping that marriage will come. And there are people who have waited passively and it has worked for them actually. They have found partners and it's all going well for them. But then there's a number of us who have to shift from the passive and move into what we call the active waiting. I am an example of that. And for me, I think it was when I hit 25 and I'm like, okay, I've been waiting passively, but really nothing is happening. I am not seeing things move in the direction that I want them to. I desire and I'm praying. I wasn't actually really praying like that, but I desire a godly spouse and a kingdom marriage, and it wasn't really working out for me. Then God just shifted and helped me to shift the gear into what we call active waiting. So what is active waiting? Active waiting is just when you're intentional about your waiting, yeah? And the intentionality is about two areas mainly, and then the third. One, you're intentional about growing with God. Because marriage in itself is a godly thing, and it is God's idea. So you must know God, you must grow in relationship with God, and then being intentional about growing as a person, appreciating yourself as an individual, growing in your gifts and callings, and just becoming a wholesome person. Then the third thing, growing into being found if you're a woman, and growing into finding as a man. So active waiting is when you're more intentional about it. You're praying, you're reading the Word, you're doing the right things as led by the Holy Spirit. You're taking your journey with God. And that's what we are really here to do and to talk about and to explore at Stewarding the Seasons in this particular season as we explore singlehood. So are you being intentional as you wait? Are you growing in the Word? Are you walking with God? And in this active waiting, what I love about it the most is that your goal really, and your priorities are three. And the very top of the list is God, and then there is you, and then there's this other person that you will find. Versus passive waiting, I feel like when you're waiting passively, at the top of your list is actually marriage, and that's just it. There might not be room for you to grow with God and grow as a person. So I just want to ask you, single lady out there, single man out there, are you passively waiting or are you actively waiting on God? Is God at the center? Are you being intentional about reading your Word and growing? Are you intentional about you as a person, or are you passively waiting really? So I just want to give you food for thought. Which level of waiting are you at? And the beauty is that active waiting, will grow you as a person, and then it will bring you to the destination that you want. I find that it is more effective, and I find that if you do it right, because there's a right way to wait, and one of the ways is to wait actively. If you do it right, then you'll get the results that you desire. So share in the comments, what do you think about waiting? Are there types of waiting? Is there something that you would want us to know? And most importantly, please like, please share, please subscribe. We love you. See you next week. Bye-bye.